Kevin, what the heck just happened in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, as someone who's trying to kind of write a quick gamer here, it ended up kind of turning around a bunch of times in the last few seconds. There was a 2-minute drill after a great Duron Harmon tackle on third down, one of the few times the Patriots stopped the Steelers on third down. Then the Patriots went down the field. Gronk had 69 yards receiving on the final drive, and then helped the Patriots get in the end zone on a Dion Lewis rushing touchdown. Then it looked like the Steelers had really like they shouldn't have come back. Like there was 1 minute left, and Juju Smith-Schuster went 69 yards down the field on one play. Eric Rowe gets beaten in coverage on a kind of crossing route, pick play.
Picked by his own guy, so yeah. It was picked by his own guy, so there's no like missed pass interference call.
Exactly. Yeah. No foul play there, but it was a problem there for Eric Rowe. And then what do you know? After Jesse James's touchdown is overturned on is it a catch? Is it not a catch? Not a catch play. Then Malcolm Butler tackles Darius Hayward in bounds. Eric Rowe bats the pass down. It goes to Duron Harmon pick. Patriots win. Patriots have the inside track for the top seed in the AFC. So the last 3 minutes of this game were enough to make up for the rest of the game for the Patriots, which was just like they didn't play super well. They didn't have a great performance until the end, and then man, that was a wild finish.
The last about 15 minutes in the NFL have been complete chaos. Let's run down it. The Patriots. Bottom of the list in terms of priority was Tom Brady drives the Patriots down to score for a touchdown in the last minute of the game. Snooze. Then the Steelers come back, get to the goal line, crazy overturned call. Then the Jerry Richardson selling the Carolina Panthers. Jimmy Garoppolo has a game-winning drive. There's all sorts of chaos going on in the NFL right now, but I think the number one takeaway, the thing that everyone's going to be talking about, is that Jesse James non-catch. Watching the play live, even the Tony Romo and the announcers on TV didn't even notice that we were even looking at the catch, because as the play went down live, you saw the catch, boom, knee goes down, he leans in and go, oh, they were going to review whether he's down. No one touched him. Okay, why are they still looking at it? And that I think everyone had the same realization that went, oh, is that not a catch? Because it seems so obvious that he just kind of goes down, and the way he reached across now seems really dumb because he didn't prioritize holding on to the ball. He was trying to reach across, but apparently didn't establish himself with a runner. As one of the stories on the site, a lot of Steelers fans think that's crazy. The NFL catch rule is ridiculous, but did you think it was a catch live? Because I thought it was a catch live.
I thought it was a catch live. My concern was that he maybe went down a little bit early because he ended up having to kind of reach the ball across, and it looked like his knee might have touched down before the ball went across. So I thought that's what they were looking at when they were looking at the play. It was like, oh, is this on the 1 inch line instead of actually a touchdown? But then, man, like they look at it a little bit closer, and then kind of as you look at the replay a little bit more, you notice like ball does come loose, and he ends up reestablishing possession of it after it hits the ground, but it does hit the ground. So I think it ended up being the right call, like based on the rules for that it wasn't a catch. It was just like a little insane that it got to that point to me. I mean, like how Juju Smith-Schuster gets all the way down the field on that play. I mean, he went all the way to the left and then up the left sideline and then back over the middle. It was like one of those things that like you pray doesn't happen to you in Madden when something goes wrong and everyone can't tackle. But
it looks like a crazy high school play with the lack of tackling and just players taking terrible angles, and just like a Juju Smith-Schuster was faster than half the Patriots and just making guys turning them around. I thought he was going to score.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I mean after the ball was not called a touchdown for Jesse James, the Steelers messed up. They really messed up there. The Darius Hayward-Bay comes across on a crossing route, and they throw it to him over the middle. He can't get out of bounds, and that's really what killed them because it was third down. What do? Do you spike the ball there, set up fourth down, and it's you only have one chance to get in the end zone. You have to kick a field goal.
Yeah, if they spike the ball there, they're kicking for overtime. The odds are against you going on fourth down, but they had 9 seconds. There wasn't I get why they did the fake spike, but it was a really I guess it was just a call by Roethlisberger to go for the fake spike. It's something you see more often just to see if the defense is kind of staying home and like playing through the play. However, the Patriots are kind of the wrong team to kind of pull that against, because who preaches situational football more than Bill Belichick? How many times do you think Bill Belichick has screamed at his players?
Yeah, who didn't see that fake spike coming? It was like there were 12 seconds left, and he's like doing the spike thing. He's trying to make it seem like they're spiking, and you realize like they're not gonna spike the ball right there. They're gonna go for the end zone. Like just run a normal play there, because the Patriots weren't fooled. It looked like the Steelers themselves were like a little confused on what they were doing. The only person that was actually running the route was Eli Rogers. Everyone else was kind of just watching the play. So Roethlisberger had one option, and it was to throw to Eli Rogers in double coverage with all the defensive backs waiting there to tackle him. I mean, it was just an insane play call, an insane execution by Roethlisberger, who theoretically could have just thrown the ball away. Like, throw it high, throw it over him. You know you're not going to get it, but he tried to force it in there, and you don't do that in that kind of situation, and it totally cost the Steelers the game. So, tough break for the Steelers, but, I mean, great news for the Patriots, who should have lost the game. Like,
they should have lost this game.
Yeah, like, throughout the entire game, the Steelers were so much better. They had they converted everything on third down. They were 10 for 16 on third down, but throughout the game, it was like 8 for 12. I mean, they were incredible on third down. Antonio Brown went down, and the Steelers were still converting on all of their passes. I mean, Martavis Bryant made an incredible diving catch, then a one-handed touchdown catch, and Le'Veon Bell was impossible to stop. He had over 100 yards rushing. He had 5 catches for almost 50 yards, and he was torching David Harris. So there were a lot of things that went wrong for the Patriots in this game. But, man, right when, like, in crunch time, somehow it always ends up in Deron Harmon's hands.
Yeah, he's the closer.
The closer.
One thing I want to go back to with the fake spike, and I think something that like kind of might get forgotten in the end, is what happens with those fake spike plays is that the only way you can really sell a fake spike if the whole offense is like, oh, we're spiking the ball and only one guy can run the route, because if all the guys run the route, you're just running a play where offensive linemen aren't blocking. So you got to kind of just do it with one guy. However, if the Steelers are running that play, who do you think normally runs that play? It's Antonio Brown, but he was out of the game. So they're running it with Eli Rogers, which is not a great matchup. I think part of the issue with that play is why Roethlisberger might have forced it is because he was getting, like, the offensive line weren't blocking, and he was getting swallowed. And so if he takes a sack there, the game's over. So I can understand the kind of panic and trying to get it. But as you said, he forced the ball in there. Wrong decision. Should have just thrown it away, kicked the field goal, continued the game. You mentioned that so many things went wrong for the Patriots, especially down the stretch. The one thing that did go right for the Patriots was Rob Gronkowski, who was just unstoppable.
Absolutely. I mean, did you see him? He started laughing at the guy. He flexed on him, and then he laughed at him after that 2-point conversion because no one could stop him. I mean, he had you knew where the Patriots were going on that 2-minute drill. Like, the option should have been just cover Rob Gronkowski. And over again, they found him over the middle of the field for 20 yards and 30 yards, essentially, and just, like, going down the field. He got matched up one-on-one on the outside, and you couldn't come close to stopping him. He's such a freak athletically, and he can make all the catches. He made one over-the-shoulder catch that set up the Brandon Cooks touchdown earlier in the game. That was just incredible, and I was like, man, he's not going to have a better catch today. And then on the game-winning drive, he ended up taking that one off his shoe tops that should have hit the ground, and somehow while he's on the run, can reach all the way down there, get 2 hands on it, secure it, and then bring it back up to his body. I mean, that's a guy that had back surgery last year. He's had multiple back surgeries. He has back problems, and he can lean all the way down there on the run and make that kind of twisting athletic play. I mean, he's just a freak. And I mean, the Patriots missed him a lot last week.
Yeah, you don't see 6'6", 275-pound guys make those sorts of plays. He's ridiculously nimble and balanced. And early on in the game, one of the themes you saw was like the Patriots didn't go to him very often. It was in that tough spot where like Gronk's complaining about flags, and you can see he's getting defenders are getting grabby with him, and he's not getting the calls. Then later on in the game, he's getting a more free release, and look what happens when Rob Gronkowski doesn't have defenders kind of grabbing at him. The plays he was making down, he had separation. When he gets separation, Brady and Gronk have a good enough connection, and chemistry that Brady's going to find him on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, Gronk was the guy over and over again. I think a couple things to take away in this game were that Rex Burkhead got hurt. He was ruled out with left knee injury, and we don't know how long he's out. But the fact that they immediately ruled him out is something, maybe a little bit of a cause for concern. He's been the Patriots' top red zone back and goal line back so far these past few weeks. And without him, I mean, they used Lewis and they scored the touchdown there, which, by the way, that touchdown kind of goes overlooked because of everything Gronk did. But, for Dion Lewis in that spot to just kind of slip through everyone, once he got through, the Steelers just kind of let him get through. They're like, all right, score now. We don't want you taking down the rest of the clock.
That might have been a strategic play by the Steelers, because when Dion Lewis got in the end zone, you kind of get the feeling like, did they leave too much time on the clock? In reality, no, it didn't matter. The Steelers it looked like they had scored in 2 plays, so if they could have left 15 seconds on the clock, it wouldn't have made a difference.
That was, I mean, yeah, they came down the field in a hurry there on that one, but yeah, so but if Lewis is not maybe your number one goal line back, and then Rex Burkhead is out, then that means maybe Mike Gillislee comes back in, and Gillislee started the season 3 goal line touchdowns in week 1. And then since then, he's really struggled in short yardage. He's been inactive for the last 5 weeks, I think.
It's been a while.
A little while in the end. Yeah, and so he's been looking for his chance to get back in the lineup, and this might be his chance here. If Burkhead's out, he'd be someone that could step in and then make an impact. I've always thought that this is not the end for Gillislee this season. I always thought he'd get back in there and make some plays. This might be his chance. So it'll be something to keep an eye on moving forward as we kind of learn more about Burkhead's injury. But Gillislee could be getting his chance soon. And with 2 weeks left, the Patriots, you'd think they'd want to win out so they can take the number 1 spot in the AFC East. They've got the Bills and the Jets left on the schedule, so they've got to take care of business in the division. I mean, they should not be as hard games as the Steelers game, but you can't take anything for granted. I mean, the Patriots lost to the Dolphins last week. So.
And the Bills are going to be angry this week because this is the couple weeks after the Gronkowski hit, so on Tre'Davious White. So that's going to be a revenge game for them. The Patriots did clinch the AFC East, but I think the Bills are still in the playoff race, so that's a dangerous team right now.
Yeah, well, actually, so side topic, San Francisco 49ers, led by Jimmy Garoppolo and his 381 passing yards, end up beating the Tennessee Titans today, which causes all sorts of mayhem in the bottom of the AFC because now you've got the Ravens, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Titans fighting for 2 playoffs. Oh, and I guess the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are they look like they're going to win the AFC West. So fighting for basically 2 playoff spots. There are really 3 teams that have solidified their position in the AFC. That's the Steelers, the Patriots, and the Jaguars. The Jaguars ended up winning big today. They should win the AFC South. The Titans, they ended up losing to the 49ers, who are looking like a totally different team with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. And so that kind of causes a whole bunch of mayhem. Like, theoretically, the Titans could miss the playoffs. The Bills, if they end up winning out, I believe they could make the playoffs over the Titans, and then the Ravens could make the playoffs over the Titans, and it could be a whole mess in the AFC. So bad news for the Titans because they should have, this should not have been hard. They should have made the playoffs. The
AFC South is a complete mess, and they're the only decent team, or the second decent. I forget about the Jaguars. They've transcended the AFC South, but.
You were 1 year early on the Jaguars.
Exactly.
You picked them every game last year in our pick'em column, and then should have done that this year. They've been incredible. So yeah, it's mayhem in the AFC, and the Patriots are in prime position to take home field in the playoffs. Which, I mean, if you get the Steelers at home, that's great news for the Patriots. I mean, you don't want the Steelers, but as long as you're playing them at home, that's good news. So Patriots, huge win tonight. It was the biggest game of the season. They ended up winning it in the craziest fashion possible, and now they have a chance to take the number 1 seed. That's what they need if they're going to end up making it to Minnesota this year for the Super Bowl.
All right, so the Patriots got a pretty big gift of a win a week before their game on Christmas Eve, so we'll see whether or not the Patriots can finish up the AFC picture. They're in the driver's seat now after this win. But we'll find out whether or not they finish it off. Kevin, we've got some more craziness to sort through from this game, but folks, stay tuned for more Patriots coverage coming your way on Facebook, on MassLive.com/Patriots, and we'll be covering all of this and all of the crazy fallout as Steelers fans complain, Gronk continues to dominate, and the Patriots are the top team in the AFC right now. Thanks, Kevin, and thanks, folks, for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.